Hey, welcome to Wizards Outlook. Joining as always, we got Cardo W. Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarpe Jr. And, look, the Grizzlies, the Wizards went down by as many as 23. We saw the fight back in the third quarter, and then just not be able to close the gap in the fourth. We saw the Grizzlies kind of stabilize, and they did the little things down the stretch to make sure they left with the W. They moved to 7-3 on the year, while the Wizards fought to 4-6. Carter, we'll start with you and then Ray. Just your thoughts on tonight's game before we get to the comments, like we always do.
Yeah, for me, it was a overall much better effort than what we saw on Friday. It just came down to little things, man, and they didn't execute consistently like they needed to pull out this win, especially when Steven Adams left with the ankle injury, and then followed by Jaw shortly after. That was your window to kind of take control of the game, which they did. They battled back. They took a brief lead, but they weren't able to sustain, especially in the fourth. I just feel like in the fourth, their shot selection and just the one thing, giving up offensive rebounds, which is the one thing the Grizzlies excel at. I think they're tops in the league at that. And a big part of that is Steven Adams. I think those two things just really hurt the Wizards at the end of the day. Look, and I mean offensive rebounding and clutch moments late in the fourth. But this shot selection down the stretch, man, look, you 8 for 41 from deep. You got to understand when you ain't got it from out there. You had success driving it to the cup, getting in the paint, and making somehow whether you was getting fouled, you was getting timely layups, floaters, runners. Even passing back out, and Rui was taking. He realized he had it. He was taking one or two dribbles in, knock down mid-range jumpers. Those points still count. It was a winnable game, but they beat themselves in a lot of ways, and that's what's unfortunate. I appreciate the effort, especially from guys like the bench, Rui, Will Barton, Jordan Goodwin. Man, Jordan Goodwin was outstanding. I know people gonna say, "Look, 9 points and 8 rebounds in 26 minutes and 5 assists, 2 steals." I said it during when we was watching on playback. He's the guy that can kind of do what DeLon Wright did because he showed the willingness to do it, the consistency to do it, and the results in doing it. He's the only one that can do that kind of Swiss Army knife at the guard position, so to speak. That's what DeLon Wright is, and especially defensively. It's rare when you see guys in the league get up on Ja Morant, like really get up in him, close out his airspace, and really try to slide with him, keep him out the paint or whatnot. And to the point where Memphis literally had to put picks out there to get Jordan off of him. And he was a big reason why Ja Morant didn't shoot well tonight, which gave you an opportunity to win this game. Um, you know, I know some people gonna bring up the coaching. I felt like, and I'm just gonna be honest, I feel like Rui and Will should have just finished the game. We gonna ride with y'all. If y'all get tired, y'all get tired. But y'all got us in this, get us out of it. You know what I'm saying? Get this win. Because the starters didn't have it. Kuzma 5 for 14, Denny 2 for 12, Porzingis 3 of 13. I don't mind Monte being on the floor. He actually had a solid game as far as shooting the ball, 18 points, 7 to 12. But his assists were down, which is uncharacteristic because he usually have about 5 assists. And the turnovers, he rarely ever turns the ball over. So he had a positive impact on the game. The rest of your starters, not so much. And you could say Kingsbury shot well in the brief time he played, but look, he's still trying to get right back in form. So you gotta go with the guys that had it going. I felt like they should have just stayed in the game and go from there. Even Gafford gave him good minutes. 9 points, 4 6. He possibly should have been in the game instead of Porzingis down the stretch because Porzingis just didn't have it tonight. Look, those are the factors. Sitting guys that earned the right to finish the game, shot selection down the stretch from deep, just settling for bad 3-point attempts, and little things as far as keeping them off the boards in key moments, especially offensively. Those are the things that beat the Wizards at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate the effort. Coming off that last game, like this was a complete 180 from what we saw on Friday night. But like I said, man, they put themselves in position to win. And you want to see them able to close a game like this. I completely agree with the rotation decisions. Guys had it going, man. You got to ride it out at this point. Especially given how this season has gone so far. When you got something good going, just ride it till the wheels fall off, man. If it how much worse could the result have been? You lost the game anyway, so you might as well stick with what's working. We've seen that a couple times this season so far, so that's definitely something West has to improve on. Uh, yeah, the shot selection at times is, and it's not only that the shot selection is bad; it's bad in critical moments, like down the stretch. You know, they could have made smart decisions, and even at points during the game when they were kind of fighting their way back. At one point, they were down by one, got a defensive stop. Will Barton came down, took a quick three without anybody else touching the ball. Like, that's a chance for you to work the ball around, run something, get a basket, go up. Those are things that kill your own momentum. And then Memphis comes back and scores right off that. So, yeah, it's just little things like that where they need to take advantage of those opportunities. The margin of error is extremely slim with this team, so any mistake is going to be magnified times 10 because they haven't shown they have the discipline or honestly the talent to be able to overcome a lot of mistakes like that. So yeah, man. I mean, it's good to see them fight, especially against one of the better teams in the league, but it, it's a veteran team with guys that know what to do, and they should manage these situations a little bit better than that.
All right, Ray, we'll stick with you with player of the game before we get to Cardell and you share yours.
Uh, I go Desmond Bain, man. You know, he didn't have his best night. But Bain was right there, man, picking up the slack and leading the way at times. Without if he didn't have the night he had, then maybe give the Wizards a little more rope and able to pull this one out.
Cardell.
The same for me, bang. Shot the ball well. I don't think people understand how well he shoots the ball at 46% on the year, which will probably go up because he was 4 for 8 tonight. Now for 1666. I know the attention was on Ja and keeping Adams off the boards, but whoever was guarding Bain, it was a long night because he torched everybody.
All right, Cardell, we'll stay with you with X Factor.
Ja, even though he didn't have the best night shooting the ball, turned the ball over a few times. Look, man, when he got downhill and got in the paint, the defense or the Wizards, everybody got sucked in, and he was kicking it out. That's how Bain was getting wide open threes. Um, that's how Brandon Clark was getting lobs and stuff like that. That's how guys were getting the easy attempts. Truth be told, if Brooks and Adama was hitting 8 shots, it'd have been ugly. You know what I mean? Let's just call it what it is because they began opportunities, but they weren't hitting them, man. But look, he didn't have the best night shooting the ball, but he still had 9 rebounds and 6 assists, and he went out for a minute with an ankle injury. So his pressure on the Wizards and the way he was attacking Porzingis, that's what kept Porzingis out of the game. Like it disrupted him because he was attacking Porzingis, letting him know how he was just bumping into him, jumping into him in the air, how he almost punched on him and stuff like that. Porzingis had to be very careful, and that made Porzingis hesitant to really leave his man or come up to close out airspace, which allowed Ja to get in the paint, either kick it out or try to get a foul call and finish, man. So he still disrupted the game despite his shooting woes or whatnot. But that's what makes him a special player, man. So he was definitely the X factor. I don't know if even though I don't, they didn't shoot the ball the most efficiently. He still got them good shots, and that's all you can ask for from your floor general.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Since typically he's the primary scorer, yeah, didn't have him going in that department tonight. He found, multiple other ways to impact the game. And like Ardell said, man, the pressure he put on the defense, it just allowed everything else to open up for Memphis.
All right. On to the comments. I know there's one of them I'm not going to put up here, but outside of that, We appreciate y'all as always. Biggie Steve was the first one to hear it today, and man, um, not a fan of the coaching tonight. Clearly, Cardell, you touched on this as did Ray. Everyone wants to shoot threes, knowing they bricking KP and Kuz, and West pulling people that were hot and got them the lead to put back the starters that are cold, KP and Kuz. Again, both of you guys touch on this, but if either one of you wanted to add on to it, feel free.
That's why you can't go off numbers. Feel matters, man. Feel matters. Like you can feel the momentum. You can feel when they gelling. You can feel it. You can feel it. And I'm riding with the high hand, so they go cold. I'm riding with this team. Y'all just gotta sit tight. Be professionals. Y'all had minutes out there. It was up and down. These guys got us back in it. Only way I'm taking them out is if they have a cold spell and the other team's going on a run, then I know they're flat. They, say, all right, we gotta get some guys back. And even that would be, I'm watching closely because that just might be until they can get their win back. Like, because if they don't bring it, I gotta get back in here, though. I gotta figure it out. Like that's part of the coaching, and you see that a lot across the league where the numbers just it totally disrupts the flow of the game, and people relying on that instead of the instincts in that field. Man, I feel like this was a game where they lost because people went away from the field. You feel what I'm saying? Hoping that other guys will get it going. You got to recognize when other guys ain't got it going. And just roll the eye. And at the end of the day, when you win, everybody's happy. So now with that, if it hasn't already, second guessing is already creeping in. It has to. It's just human nature. You know what I mean? So you now, like, if I'm doing my job, I still might get set down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, once again, like I said on Friday, they have a lot of things to figure out.
For sure. And again, this is clearly the theme of today. Bring it back, Gav. 40 seconds left in the game when the game is out of reach. West needs to go now, like before the post game presser. It's too much pride to say people when they clearly don't have it that night. 8 for 41 from 3. Talking about the bad shot selection that Raymond and Carter, you guys mentioned. KP got way too happy from deep. We should be in the paint making shots. Look, that's something, when we were watching the game together, if you can see our faces there, and we all don't, like, at times don't understand why 7-3 when other teams' big centers are out, where to be found close to the basket. Where if you are, there's one play I know that bothered me deeply. He double pumps. Brandon Clark was the 5 in the game. I know Brandon Clark got some bounce, but you 7-3. What are you double pumping for a 6'8" dude guarding?
It's simple. When physically you aren't equipped right now to deal with that pounding. Because when you post guys up, it's pounding. You may be pounding on them, but it's still contact. And then when you shoot inside, you're going to get hit. More contact. But if your body's not physically ready for that, you don't want to go down there and have to deal with that. That's why he's settling for jumpers. He has to change his approach, man. He has to. The team needs easy baskets inside, especially on a night like this when guys aren't hitting 3-pointers. You're the biggest guy, not even on the team. You're the biggest, tallest, most skilled big on the floor. Go down low and go to work. It is not this difficult. It is not hard, man. But when you not lifting, it's clear. You can look at his body. He said as much. It's not me just saying that. I listened to the podcast. He said it on the podcast. He changed his training approach to be more agile and stuff like that. Play more like a wing. Fine. I know you like to do that. But you still also got to train, be equipped. Like, if I got to go down here for us to win a game, I'm going down here to go to work. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to work. Especially against an undersized team. Now, you could do that against an undersized team. They got like a 6'6", 6'7" guard. Against Philadelphia when he ate both games, even though they went 1-1, they split. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because Embiid's not there. But what would have happened if Embiid was there? Because Montrez, look, he a bruiser, he a dog, he a batter, but he's still 6'7". And size does matter. When you get in the paint, deep in the paint, you elevate. Ain't much you can do about somebody 7'3". Problem is, Steven Adams gonna put that wood on you. You gonna feel him. So when you turn around and shoot, it's 15 feet, and you just got hit a few times. He don't want to deal with that. Then on defense, you got Ja jumping right into him. I mean, he was being tested tonight, and they targeted him specifically for that reason. So, nah, man, he got to switch up his mindset if they want to turn this around. Start putting Powell in the wins. So right now they're 4-6, and it ain't getting easy. You got Charlotte tomorrow. Then Larry Legend Jr. comes to town, and if you're defending like you did tonight with Larry Legend Jr., you thought Friday was bad. Because CKD was being nice, honestly. He was just picking his spots. Luka ain't gonna pick his spots. He gonna play with you. He gonna really try to take your soul. So they better get it together, dog.
I don't know if any of y'all that are watching have seen what Luka did to the Toronto Raptors defense, which is impressive as hell. That is a very good defense. With if you just were thinking about what's the prototype NBA defensive athlete, Toronto has all of them in every different size, shape, and fashion. Outside of I take that back because Koloko or whatever his name is. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name. The correct way to pronounce his name. He's a footer. They have all of them, and Luka just did what he wanted to them. It's crazy, and we've seen Toronto's defense put people in like Alcatraz. They've made people disappear, and we've seen this. We've seen over time. Nick Nurse, there's not a scheme on earth that man will not use if it means slowing somebody down to get his team a win. They ran through everything Nick Nurse had in his back pocket. Luka just didn't. It just didn't matter. So again, it's gonna be that. Agreeing with you guys. He's speaking facts. The bench who took the lead should finish the game. That's why I love y'all. Show you see the truth. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Again, don't forget y'all for away games. Join us. Watch a game live with us. We know you're watching. We're watching. Come hang out. Maya agreeing with Biggie Steve. Area 11T, welcome. West stole the game. You don't pull the best score of the night.
We had it going, dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have an answer for him because they were closing out so hard, and we all know he can live off one dribble pull up. Live off it. Came into the league with it. What was it? The third quarter we had not. He finished with 15. I think he had 9. It was 15 in the third.
Something like that.
I think it was something like that. I might be off. Give or take a point here or there. Okay. I'm sorry. We're right here. Sick and tired of watching this BS. Sat down in the second half when they were down 20, but got the chirp. They were down 3, so I put it back on to give them a chance. Worst decision ever. Area 11T against it. We need some shooters like badly. I'm tired of everybody standing around on offense just watching a guy dribble, especially if they can't shoot. Follow that up with, and we need these big wings to be more aggressive because only shooting 10 free throws is not enough. And again, some of that goes back to, one of the wings when they're on the floor has no issue being physical or going to get what they need to get. And again, we've all been clamoring for the fact that Rui needs more minutes. And that's not like a fix all for everything going on. Just saying that's one of the guys that has shown that they don't have an issue. When he's in a game that he scores, he gets to the line. Like these are two things we've consistently seen when he's come on the floor. He said, "What's with the coach?" Go ahead.
The Wizards are 21st in the NBA in free throw attempts, 22.2. They got too many talented guys to be that low, man. But they settle them for so many threes. Porzingis leads the team with 4.9 free throw attempts a game. 7-3, then Kuzma 4.1, then Bill at 4. But Bill, Bill should be getting 8. Like Bill should be getting more. Like Bill should be getting about 8 attempts. Kuzma settles too much from deep. You know what I'm saying? Like he loves that 3-point line. I get it. Like he's shooting 35 solid. But it's pretty good. But nah, and we all know Porzingis 4. Come on, dog. You should be double digits around that. Seriously. Like if I'm 7'3", dog, I'm like, all you peon, you midgets, man, come on, man, dog. I'm on the block, dog. Like if I'm trailing, yeah, I'm shooting that thing because I can, but nah, I'm eating down low.
Facts. Was with the coach for the sports at DC, the Commanders, the Wizards. I don't have an answer for that one, man. He said, "Is it the water?" I don't even know if it's fair to just blame something like that on water. Water's good for you. Uh, he need to teach that to everybody. Look, man. Again, we told y'all last Saturday, Sunday, something like that. This 2 week stretch will give us a good idea what things look like. 4-6. You know, Charlotte's not going to be at full strength tomorrow. However, you know, noted Wizards killer Terry Rozier is healthy, and he had a good game against Brooklyn, I think, last night. But again, like the Wizards aren't in the position to look down at anyone, so you know.
Look, man, the Hornets, they got Luca. They got 7-3 Jazz team with Markkinen and Clarkson, them boys playing out their mind. Then you got Ja again at the crib. OKC Thunder, we hope you could beat them. We hope. Then you always got a grumpy Miami Heat team. They always mad about something. You got the Hornets at the crib. Then you got the Heat again. Then you got the Heat again. Then you got the Celtics. Then you got the Timberwolves. And you end this month against Brooklyn. And who knows?
That's how November ends.
That's how November ends. I'm not even gonna look at December. It's too much stress this month.
Nah, you don't want to look at December.
Happy holidays, man.
I told you how the New Year starts. 23 starts with Giannis. Oh man. He said maybe get Coach K to fix our sports team. I don't know.
He's for the stress.
Man.
Yeah.
At least the young guys look to play more freely now. Yeah, like Jordan Goodwin, again, like we've all said tonight, especially over in the playback room, deserves minutes. He was very, very good tonight. But yeah.
Look, Wes, for whatever reason, he has a quick leash with a lot of guys. Like he pull you quick. All right. As a player, you just gotta realize when I'm out there, fuck it, just gonna hoop. Like you, that's how you gotta approach it. Because if you worried about making a mistake, he gonna pull me, then you gonna make that mistake. It always works out like that. So you gotta play free. My man been in the G League the last couple of years grinding. Like we said it before the season started. He's one of their hardest workers. Like after practices during training camp, he was putting in an hour and a half, an extra 2 hours of work every day. So he's prepared. He's hungry. He's ready to go. He just needed minutes. He got an opportunity. He's taking full advantage, man. So he deserves more minutes. He need to be in a rotation, though. Because one thing he does that the rest of the team is up and down with, he gives you maximum effort, maximum energy. Like when Ja was on transition, guys were close and he'd slow up to try to probe and stuff like that. My man Goodwin was running back, knocking the ball loose. Like, nah, dog, you're not about to just sit here and take your time and pick us apart. Nope. And knocking the ball loose. That's how Ja had a couple turnovers, or he had to rush and take bad shots. That was part of it. So now Ja's looking for him instead of probing and stuff like that. Just that little bit of effort changes things. Where some of his other teammates feel like they're too cool to do that consistently, if at all. And now don't get me started. It's just crazy. But I'm just saying, pay me $1 million, my effort gonna be on point every game, dog. Like, that's all I'm saying, dog. You ain't gotta worry about that. That's easy.
Go, old man, you're like Cloud. There used to be a time where you didn't have to question effort; it was just baked in. But again, Biggie Steve said about the conference like Thanksgiving turkey. Luca will,
for sure.
That's guaranteed. Luca will.
Yeah,
and again, like I think it was Ray or Cardell or somebody else said, one of you two said something about healthy Dinwiddie looking for get back on Thursday.
I forgot about that.
Just to keep that in mind, you know.
Dallas versus Haynes.
And the way this team plays defense and doesn't get back in transition, messing around with Luke and them. All right, man, we'll see. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
Spencer definitely gonna be okay.
Just,
Like I still remember that presser from last year. Like it just happened. When he's like, "Yo, I try to talk to the team, and they ain't respond. They ain't go over well." So he was like, "Look, I'm just gonna fit in." Then they shipped him. Oh yeah, he definitely gonna be on. Oh man, woo.
man, that thing circled before the year started. Schedule came out in the summer. He was like, "Oh yeah, in DC,
Yeah,
be
I'm
good."
looking for. I'm expecting a lot of stairs when every time you make a play, just look at the bench. Trez was doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Schedule looks brutal. Might go 4 or 5 or 14. Look, man, I don't know. All we can tell you guys is what's on deck. That might not be enough. You see what the Commanders about to go for?
what they about to go? What?
They talk about 7.
Ooh.
So, hey, look. So being good has nothing to do with the price. So that's what I'm saying, Biggie Steve. I hope I hope you win it. One.
And that cash option is like 850 million. So
man, like if you get it, I would like nothing more for you to get it. Just know you might need to win it a couple times. Because if that dumpster fire is going for $7 billion, hey, look, man.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I want that. I don't know. Even if I had it, bro, I want to know if I wanted to foot that entire bill, dog. Like, I'm too competitive. Like, what? Yeah, 8 yards rushing. Release. He got to go.
Hey, you see how much money Bezos got, and he's still they're putting a group together to buy. They got people putting in some, and he got they print money.
It's a new level athlete out here. Maybe back in the day I'd have been with it, but nah, man. They make me mad. That's tough.
They might wake up and no names, just decide they don't want to play today or this week.
He said
this
he's gonna
month.
fire everybody. At least keep everybody that work at the arena and let them keep their jobs, dog.
They're consistent. They do their jobs. Makes sense, everybody. Want to thank y'all for hanging with us tonight, man. We'll see you tomorrow night. Again, they're gonna try to get off the slide against Charlotte in Charlotte. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching Witches Outlook.